This is Marshawn Nealon holding up the jersey. I thought was pretty cool. Like I said, the Cowboys did a wonderful job. Remember, they have not played a game since the tragedy. They were on the bye last week. They win this game going away. They were never going to lose it. They're 4-5-1. But afterwards, a lot of thoughts and a lot of comments were on a very different matter.
Whirlwind of a week. Great one, too.
I feel like people would have far too much fun with that. That's a tricky thing. It's a tricky stance for Gino to take. But I guess within the four white lines of a football field, I'll accept. Like Kyle said, we echo it here at the table. A really beautiful way to remember Marshawn Nealon and the fact that the head coach has had his face on his chest all night. The joy, the pride that the Cowboys felt was matched in their performance on the field. Dak Prescott played great. Isaac, big-time takeaway from Monday Night Football.
Yeah, well, you hit the nail on the head. I was inspired by this football team. The Marshawn Nealon tributes and everything that they did for him, I thought was such a big deal. It mattered a lot for this football team. So that was inspiring. The other side of it that I want to talk about with this football team is I was genuinely confused when CeeDee Lamb and Pickens were on the sideline to begin the game. For the sideline, that was confusing at the beginning of the game.
The interaction here in the weeds when it comes to what went down is important, too. So Lisa Salters, you know, this happens in a broadcast all the time. They're like, why are these stars on the bench? Lisa, go find out. She's got to go to Cowboys PR, and they feed her this line that's like, it's a coach's decision. You're going to have to ask coach, which then your halftime interview can't come any sooner because you want to ask Schottenheimer about this. So it kept being with the coach's decision, which oftentimes in your playing days meant that like guys were late to a meeting or something.
Late to a meeting, I would suspect it was that. I mean, it's usually the night before meeting that you have at 8 p.m. Every team has it at 8 p.m. They were definitely late to that. But again, Schottenheimer sitting them and then celebrating with him. I think he was like, I hope this goes well when I sit my star receivers, and it did.
Hey, at least they were bonding, right?
Yeah, at least they were bonding. Another person that's bonding very well is Quinnen Williams. I mean, he played half the snaps. In those half snaps, he had half the sacks. I mean, the guy had 1.5 sacks last night. He had 4 tackles and 5 QB pressures. But I want to talk about this Raiders offense. I know Geno Smith said blame me for everything. I can't put all the blame on Geno Smith because when I watched this Raiders offense last night, they're running play-action pass when they haven't even solidified the run game yet. You're throwing the counterpunch before you even establish the jab. You have to establish a jab first, guys. And in the second drive of the game, they're in the low red zone, and they run a screen and goal, KB. Like, you know this, Kyle. In order to run the screen and goal, you got to run a screen first. You know, like everything is so backwards. It's like, it reminded me of when I played the Rams. Sean McVay early in his career, all I remember it was Todd Gurley running a stretch play and then a play-action pass off of that. And it was impossible for us to even guard. It was the hardest offense to guard because all they kept doing was handing the ball off to Todd Gurley, running a counter, a play-action pass, and then Sean McVay, in his twisted mind, run a counter off of a play-action pass where they would sneak Cooper Kupp off into a little wheel route where you'd sneak out there. That was what it was, but everything was predicated off of the run. When I watched Chip Kelly in this offense and how it's structured, you're trying to run the counter before you even establish something. So help Geno Smith out. Establish a run game. Establish something so that when you run the counter off it, it actually has some tread. So that's what I got from this Raiders offense, Kyle.
Well, let me address that too, Manti, specifically. We had something happened last night. I don't know if it's good or bad or not, but I don't know if you guys saw this, but Ashton Genty is not productive. It's been a rough first season, everything the Raiders. Did you see this guy's final stat line? You got to be kidding me. Ashton Genty, kids, had 6 carries for 7 yards. No! 6 for 7? You don't do that. Please don't give the kids this catnip. In fact, I find it irresponsible. If he's got 6 for 7, you got to give him 1 more carry because he can get 80 yards or 1 yard. 7 for 8 is nothing. But someone on the Raiders staff had to say, whoa. Get him back in there. We can't have this. We can't have 6 for 7. Not in November of 2025. Anything. Give me 5 for 1. Give me 6 carries for 0 yards. Not for 7. Of course. Now, Ashton Genty's jersey is flying off the racks now. My kid wants one. Your kids want one. The dude who had 6 carries for 7 yards. That is really some grim humor for the Raiders. But Let me bring it back to, I want to call it the headliner, but here's my problem. So last night's a wonderful night for the Cowboys, and take away the off-the-field stuff, just purely on the field, all right? Dak looks great. Pickens and CD, the tandem they were supposed to be. You got Quinnen making plays. And I'm like so excited. This is the great American team. And then I look at their record, and it's 4-5-1. It's like, come on, you guys.
You're very good, you. You are very good, you. Oh, my Lord, you perfection. Perfection this morning.
Will you all just say with me, how about them Cowboys, Stephen A? I am not here for this Cowboys slander. I am not here for this blasphemy after a dominant performance last night against an NFL team. I got the
I raised it up for you, buddy. Go ahead.
I am levitating with excitement over the performance of C.D. Lamb last night, of George Pickens last night, Javonte Williams.
This is unbelievable.
The Eagles think they're going to beat this team 13-10, Jeff Saturday? I don't think so. The Cowboys are going to put up points on Sunday. They're going to beat the Eagles. They're going to go into Thanksgiving with a chance, and that's all they need.
Greeny?
Yes.
When I say, I said we have some great hosts. I think we have a great host here, new host in First Take.
Yeah.
There's no one better than you.
Yes.
You are you are the greatest host. I mean,
keep going.
I mean, you had America. We thought the Cowboys beat the Eagles.
Yeah.
I mean, I couldn't believe it. Last night, Geno Smith was their leading rusher.
Yeah.
He had 14 yards.
Thank you.
He was their leading rusher with 14 yards.
Yeah.
He threw an interception. He now has more interceptions than touchdown passes. They average 15. They're the second worst offense in all of football. Sin City doesn't want to be recognized by them. Sin City. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Are literally saying, they ain't with us. They ain't with us. They're not our team.
Yeah.
And you were on national television talking to America at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to just see the Cowboys. I'm like, Cowboys are 4-0-1 against losing teams.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, 4-0. They're 0-4-1 against winning teams. So if you stink, they beat you. If you're good, they lose to you. And you had America saying, look at these Cowboys. I couldn't believe it. I mean, there is no one better than you.
Keep saying
I just
that.
want to say that there is no one better than you.
You know what the Cowboys did not have when they played all those winning teams? They didn't have Quinnen Williams.
Nope.
And they didn't have half the players they had on defense last night. I needed a flip card to figure out who is it that is now on this defense. Between the trades and the guys that came back from injury, this defense, Troy Aikman said it last night, Stephen A. They don't have to be the 85 Bears. They just have to not be the worst defense in the league to be able to make a run. They've got the Eagles, then the Chiefs, then the Lions. How many of those games do they need to win to make you believe? To make you believe in your buddy Jerry?
At least two. At least two. And I expect them to lose at least 2 of those games.
I got to give it to Greeny. He actually had me convinced they could beat the Eagles this weekend. Forget what happened last night.
Yes.
He was over here telling me that Dak's record at home against divisional opponents. I'm like, maybe they can win this weekend.
The last time Dak lost a home game in the division was 2017. That's 8 years ago.
We like high ratings here, okay? You want the other shows to succeed, but damn it, we want this show to succeed. I would encourage everybody in Dallas to watch Get Up. Find today's Get Up. Go watch Get Up. Because let me tell you something. You will never have a day like today. Greedy, listen, this team, what did they come into the game with? 3-5-1, right?
Yep.
They came into the game last night. Greedy had you thinking they were leading the NFC East. He had you thinking they won a playoff team. I couldn't believe it.
He and Jerry on the same word. Jerry called it a ballet and opera.
But he owns the team. But he owns the team.
He's partial owner.
This brother right here. Great. Let me tell you something. You in Arlington, Texas. You in Frisco. You in Big D. Wherever you are in the surrounding parts, go find Get Up today. You understand? Hold on to it because this brother right here, Greeny, had you thinking that this is the moment right here. I couldn't believe it. I'm sitting there like, I literally had to go back to my DVR. I said, who'd they play? Who they play last night? I know I was watching the game. I saw the game. Are they talking about the Raiders?
Yep.
The Raiders, they are horrible. And Greedy had you thinking the Raiders were the Eagles or the Colts or the Patriots or somebody. You are very good.
Well, here's
You're
what
very
I'll say.
good. You're very good.
A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. They have a long way to go, but they took that step last night. They started to look a little bit better. That defense looked a lot better, obviously. Yep. I know that's a terrible offense they're playing, but I'll tell you what. The Eagles are just begging for someone to beat them. The Eagles are just hanging around. They're winning these games the way they're winning them. They're waiting for someone to explode against their defense, force them to try and do something offensively they seem unwilling or unable to do. Maybe we'll find out which one of them it is. I believe the Cowboys are going to score points on Sunday against the Eagles. And if they do, I can't wait to see what A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith and Jalen Hurts and all those guys have for them. I think it makes sense. I think it makes sense.
I don't know. He's convinced me too.
I mean, he's very convincing. He's very convincing. He's very convincing.
He is.
Popsicle to an Eskimo salesman, boy. He got the gift.
We all know Jerry's my buddy, my Libra buddy right there.
Yeah.
I got to call Jerry Jones and he need to have you down. My Lord.
I am more than available. I'll go down there anytime.
America. They were playing the Raiders.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Raiders.
Yes.
And then not the Raiders. Nope. No, not the great boom himself. Not the Raiders. No. The Raiders.
Can I ask you one question?
The Raiders.
Did we all see Denver play this weekend against Kansas City? Do we all think the Broncos look unbelievably good? 2 weeks ago, the Broncos beat the Raiders 10-7. Yeah. 10-7. That game was that close. The Raiders have been playing.
So we're just going to forget what they did to the Cowboys a couple of weeks ago.
What the
How did the Cowboys look? How did the Broncos look against the Cowboys?
No, I understand what you're saying, but what I'm saying is the Raiders every week don't look like that. The Raiders are a terrible football team, but the Raiders have played some people tough. They were playing at home last night in a Monday night game. I don't know exactly what their home field advantage is there. I think people come from all over the place to go see their games. I think they have none. I think that's about right. But the point I'm making is the Raiders have been competitive in some games, and last night they were non-competitive. The Cowboys completely dominated them from start to finish. I'm not saying it means everything, but I'm also saying it doesn't mean nothing. And crazier things have happened. I feel like I've got Chris Canty on my side.
I'm with you, G. I think this second half of this season should resemble what we saw with the Philadelphia Eagles in 2021 when they started out 3-6 and then they ended up finishing 9-8 and getting to the wild card. I'm not saying the Cowboys are going to make it to the playoffs, but that became the foundation for the Eagles as we know them today. I think based on the pieces that they've added to this defense and what their offense already is, the Dallas Cowboys can have that kind of success in the second half, and that can make it real uncomfortable for some of them contenders that they got coming up in the next month of football.
I am not ruling out the possibility that the Cowboys could beat the Eagles this Sunday. I watched them opening week. They gave them a tough game, 24-20. I get it.
And no Lane Johnson this week.
And no Lane Johnson this week, which is a big, big deal, okay? Okay? I'm just saying last night it was the Raiders.
Yes.
And we're walking around acting like we're just ignoring that. We're just blowing over that. Okay? It's the Raiders.
Right.
They're horrible. Offensively. Horrible. To the point where every time you watch their offense play, you keep saying, what's Tom Brady thinking? What's Tom Brady thinking? What's he think about the quarterback? What's he think about the offense coordinator? What's he think about the play caller? What's he think about Pete Carroll? You find yourself asking these questions about a retired player that's in the booth on Sunday afternoon because of what you're seeing on the football field by a franchise he's now the minority owner of, because of its level of alarming ineptitude. And Greedy went on national television and had us completely ignoring that. We wouldn't even think about the Raiders. All we could think about was the Cowboys. Because of you.
Yes.
You are special.
Well, yes.
You are special.
Yeah.
That's not going to argue either.
Finally, something we can all agree on.
Jeff Saturday not on your side here. Are you maybe a little more persuaded?
Oh, no.
No.
He's been trying to persuade me for 2 hours. Absolutely not. I say the same thing. Listen, they are better on defense, but I think he looks over the fact the Eagles are 40-2 in one-score game. He's like, they're going to score a bunch of points. Green Bay thought they were going to score a bunch of points. Detroit.
Cowboys Nation, listen closely because this right here is the moment where everything changes. All week long, fans, analysts, critics, and the entire NFL world have been asking the same question. Are the Dallas Cowboys truly back? Or was Monday night just a show against the bad Raiders team? But then, something surprising happened on national TV, something that caught everyone's attention. One of the analysts, someone who is usually hesitant, someone who normally holds back when talking about Dallas, stepped up and said the words that Cowboys Nation has been waiting weeks to hear. I'm not ruling out the possibility that the Cowboys can beat the Eagles this Sunday. Read that again. Say it out loud. Let it sink in. For the first time in a long time, unbiased voices are acknowledging a truth we've been seeing building for weeks. Dallas has a real shot. And it's not blind hope. It's not maybe if everything goes perfect. It's based on real football, real matchups, real changes. Because if you go back to week 1, the first time these teams met, Dallas walked into that game still figuring things out, but they competed until the final whistle in a tight 24-20 battle. The Eagles didn't dominate, the Cowboys didn't fold. That was a winnable game, and everyone knows it. But now the Cowboys aren't the same team. They're stronger, they're more complete, they're revitalized, rebuilt from the inside out. This time, Dallas walks into the matchup with Quinnen Williams, a true game wrecker, in the middle. Kenny Clark anchoring the interior, Logan Wilson commanding the defense like a field general, Malik Hooker and Donovan Wilson back stabilizing the secondary, Overshown and Revel injecting energy and speed into the linebacker unit. This is not the defense that was on the field earlier in the season. This is a different unit, a reborn unit, a dangerous unit. And on the flip side, the Eagles? They walk into this matchup without Lane Johnson, one of the most important offensive linemen in the entire NFL. When he doesn't play, the Eagles' offense is not the same. Their protection breaks down, their run game slows, and Jalen Hurts gets uncomfortable fast. And what happens when a quarterback gets uncomfortable against Quinnen Williams and this new Dallas interior? Pressure, hits, mistakes, turnovers. And here's the part that should have every Cowboys fan sitting on the edge of their seat. The Eagles are struggling to score. They're winning tight, ugly, grinded-out games, not because they're dominating, but because they're hanging on. Meanwhile, the Cowboys offense? Dak, CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens, Jake Ferguson, Javonte Williams. They're starting to look like the most explosive version of themselves again. Fast, aggressive, precise, unpredictable. And if Philadelphia thinks they can walk into Sunday and beat this Cowboys offense 13-10 like they've been doing to weaker teams, they're in for a reality check. Because this Dallas team, this version, isn't settling for field goals. They're not settling for keeping it close. They're coming to score. They're coming to attack. They're coming to punch the Eagles in the mouth from the opening drive. And the analysts know it. That's why they said it again. Do not be surprised if the Cowboys beat the Eagles this Sunday. Cowboys Nation, this is the moment right here. The turning point of the season, the game that defines the second half, the matchup that could flip the entire NFC playoff picture upside down. A win on Sunday doesn't just give Dallas momentum, it puts them right back in the race. It silences critics. It energizes the locker room. It proves that Monday night wasn't a fluke, it was a statement. And now the whole NFL is watching. This isn't about desperation anymore. This isn't about saving the season. This is about sending a message. Dallas is not done. Dallas is not backing down. Dallas is coming for the Eagles. And this time, they're ready.